has been completed and preparation to move on where the LQ situated in readiness for the loadout. The harbor tugboats are pulling the barge in readiness for the hookup with the barge. The deck hands ensure that the tug is properly secured to the barge with the help of the tug winch. Barge sailing from Abiloma through Okirika to On. The barge set out for sailing from Akpo's jetty in Abiloma, passing through the bridge piles just around Okirika town. The barge passing through the piles has to be carefully and properly done so we don't have any collision of the barge and the bridge piles. The barge going in the company of the naval security gunboats. Barge arrived at FLT on. The barge arrived on terminal and sailed towards the FLT where the LQ seated with the clearance given from the on-terminal intels the alongside the full terminal just by the DBLQ, and the terminal officers have to inspect the position of the barge along the jetty. Barge preparation. The equipment needed for the loadout has to be arranged on the barge, like the mooring winch, ballast pumps, mooring lines, compressor E.T.C for the mooring to the deck of the barge. Welding machines is needed for that operation. The personnel that carry out this task are being given work vests to enable access to the barge for the operation. Need to be open to aid ballasting in order for the barge to get to the level of the quayside. The dimension control also marking out the travel path of the AHT using total station. This is to enable the trailer and the LQ structure to do less manwovering when they climb the barge. The barge was repositioned on the stern position where the AHT will access the barge from. The ballast tank will also be ballasted to the level of the quayside, and the mooring ropes will be stretched out at this stage. The reason for this is because the barge needs to be rigid as much as possible during when the AHT will be accessed the barge with the LQ structure. The AHT drive path. The ramp linking the quayside, the barge is put in place to ensure the linear movement of the AHT from the stacking area into the barge by driving through the ramp. JH for the loadout. Safety briefing for the personnel to carry out the task. This exercise is to re-emphasize the dangers spotted during the risk assessment of the operation and to ensure that everyone is carried along for this task. Personnel from CNL, KPL, Antels, and SEMS all spoke during the
Many of us know what JSA is, job safety analysis. So the thing is, what we are going to be doing, we break them into different bits. We now look at the hazard associated with each of those bits, a way to mitigate those hazards. are mitigating those hazards so that we have a seamless operation. We load the living quarters. The drivers are going. Nobody should be on the pathway.
Okay. Can we all hear that? Immediately we start the operation, we condone this place. Only very few who will be going to controlling the call that will be there. Is that okay, please?
You have what we call the yellow line barrier.
Yeah.
Okay? Close to the key. Once you have nothing to do with, you don't have a work vest or a life vest, you have no business at the edge of the key.
Of the barge, the next line of action is to secure the LQ structure on the barge. The C-fastening of the LQ grillage to the deck of the barge is currently going on as doubler plate is fitted to the stiffeners of the grillage. To ballasting and preparing barge for sail weight condition. The barge was being emptied of the ballast water used. Setting up scaffolding for the tubular C-fastening and MPI. The scaffold for the tubular C-fastening is set up in order for the welders. To continue the C-fastening, the MPI team are also carrying out the checks on the welds to ensure that there is no crack hookup with the barge. The deck hands ensure that the tug is properly secured to the barge with the help of the tug winch. Barge sailing from Abiloma through Okirika to On. The barge set out for sailing from Akpo's jetty in Abiloma, passing through the bridge piles just around Okirika town. The barge passing through the piles has to be carefully and properly naval security gunboats. Sail towards the FLT where the also marking out the traveled path of the HT using total station. This is to enable the trailer maneuvering when they climb the barge. The barge was repositioned to the Q structure. Positioning for the HT drive path. The ramp linking the quayside and the barge is put in place to ensure the linear movement of the HT from the stacking area into the barge by driving through the ramp. JJ for the loadout. Safety briefing for the personnel to carry out the task. This exercise is to re-emphasize the dangers spotted During the risk assessment of the operation,